How to respond to a procedural fairness letter. So if you get one procedural fairness, let's say, God forbid, and I know this has become the thing that most of us are now scared of, but if you get a procedural fairness, it's a letter from IRCC which raises a concern about your application. That's PFL, Procedural Fairness Letter. And it is meant to give you a chance to respond to IRCC before they give a final decision, which is in all cases going to be a refusal. And PFLs are usually tied to instances like misrepresentation, relationship genuineness, employment concerns, financial eligibility in your cases, criminality, inadmissibilities, any kind of inadmissibilities. Those are the reasons where in most cases PFL is generated, and these have to be taken very, very seriously. You cannot sort of say, okay, I've got a PFL, treat it like another additional document request, just send any document to IRCC and consider it's all hunky-dory. It's not. First things first, what you do with a PFL is read as many times as you can to understand the context. Sometimes people just miss the context. I've seen people responding to PFLs where officer was asking for ABC and you are giving the officer XYZ. Completely different, unrelated stuff. That's where things really, really can go bad. So please be very careful. Read the context, understand the context. It's very, very important. Step one of handling a PFL is respect the deadline. All PFLs come with a deadline. It could be the least I have seen is 5 days, but it could usually you would see nowadays 7 to 14 days, and in some cases 30 days. Now, it is possible to apply for an extension. You can make an extension. You or your practitioner, your representative can request for an extension. Now, it's not guaranteed. So you can request for an extension, but start preparing for a response anyways. I have seen people getting an extension depending on the instances, depending on the situations and cases. I have seen people get extensions of up to a year, 365 days, 12 months. I have seen that happening. Actually, we've got one. So therefore, but those are very complicated, complex matters of inadmissibilities where documentation will take time, the court rulings will take time, the judgment will take time, and therefore you are giving a lot of reasons with proof to say the reason why you want to get an extension. But if you think you will not be able to prepare your documentation, then provide a very detailed explanation to IRCC as to why do you need the extension and ask for a reasonable time. Always ask for extra time. So for example, if you need 30 days, ask for 60 days. So if not 60, at least they'll give you 30 with that kind of an understanding. So therefore, treat this as absolutely your last chance. This is also your last chance to submit any new additional documents, right? Once your application is refused, once that's the end of story. That's the chapter is closed. You can't now provide new documentation. So this, when you get a PFL, you can provide any kind of document, all documents, new documents, updated documents, anything which will support your case of any manner. So please be careful with the deadline. Make sure you respond to it in time. As I was saying earlier, understand the concern and respect that concern. Know that the officer has gone through your application. No point of repeating the same thing which you've already presented. That is the reason why they have a problem. This is the reason why they have a concern. So please know what they are asking for. Identify exactly where IRCC is stuck in terms of not proceeding further. And this is also a good time to review your own application, right? Re-examine your original submissions. See where you have skewed up, see where the gaps are, see where the flags are, or what you did not provide with clarity in the first stage, in the first step anyways. What were the missing documents? What was it that you were told but you did not provide? Then, of course, the step 3 is gathering strong evidence. Everything that you say has to be supported. So, for example, let's say you did not provide employment documents which were complete and suitable, and therefore now just preparing a self-attested letter of duties is not going to work. Do not make those kind of mistakes. That is probably the reason why you have problem in the first place. So now that you are providing a submission, please address this concern first of all, right? For example, if it's employment related, then make sure what is their concern. Are they concerned about the employer's credibility? Are they concerned about your credibility in terms of your documentation? Are they concerned about your documents not being genuine? Are they concerned that there is a missing period of payment? Are they concerned that your knock does not match? Are they concerned that you did not provide sufficient documents to establish your period of work and your knock code? Identify the concerns and then provide additional new supporting documents. Read their concerns word by word, list it down, write it down as to these are the areas, these are the problems that they have a concern with, and then respond to that. Okay, don't be in a rush. Don't read it in a very quick manner and just sort of understand it. Don't put it up on a chat GPT and ask it to translate it for you, because sometimes you might not get exactly what IRCC is looking for in this case. So therefore, grasp the context of the whole document and then complete your application, especially also the cases of relationship, right? When officer is not happy or not satisfied with your relationship. Photos, chat histories, call histories, pictures together, testimonials for friends or relatives, each other's employment beneficiary, your naming you as the beneficiary, insurances, naming each other as beneficiaries, common proof of any asset ownership or pet ownership, or co-dependent on a credit card or a co-issue, co-credit card that you might have. All of these all form establishment of genuine relationship. There are so many things that you can look at and provide, but do consider your PFLs very, very seriously. After this, step 4 is pretty much self-explanatory. You will draft a strong and an honest response. Of course, honest is the keyword. You will acknowledge IRCC's concern. You will explain your position with clarity and logic. Stay respectful, of course. I mean, don't get defensive or don't get arrogant or disrespectful there. And if it was a genuine error that you have made, and this happens, right? Genuine error comes in places where people have not explained that they forgot to mention their previous refusals. You went to the US, you were deported, forgot for whatever reason, you were denied entry, and you didn't mention it. Big deal, big problem. You forgot about it. Now accept it, explain it, and apologize for it. But yes, those are the genuine mistakes which can happen. But if it was not genuine, then that's a problem. But if it is a genuine mistake, then of course you have to clarify, you have to explain, and then it will still be officer's discretion. You can use a cover letter. I mean, obviously, cover letter is where you will be explaining the whole thing and you'll be telling IRCC what you're trying to do over here. And you will add a lot of documentation, of course, as supplementing documents. Make an appendix, make an index showing what all you are providing, the number every single document down, so you have a record of everything and the officer can review whatever they are looking to understand. Finally, organize your submission. Submit your response as one clear package, one single document, preferably. Label documents clearly if needed. Use a table of contents if lengthy. Upload via the IRCC portal. You should have a placeholder in your application to upload these documents. If there isn't one, refresh your screen multiple times. It should appear. If there isn't one, then raise a web form. Let them know that you are submitting this as a response to the PFL. In that, upload the copy of the PFL, also the screenshot of your application page where you do not have any place to upload the document. So make sure you provide IRCC with the complete information. Don't expect that they have some sort of an ESP, right? Extrasensory perception, where they will understand what you're trying to do, or don't assume anything. Don't expect them to understand that just because you're doing it this way, that they will know what you're trying to do. And finally, get professional help if you don't understand PFLs. Do not treat PFLs as another document request. Treat it as very, very seriously. A poorly handled PFL, not only can it lead to an application being refused, it can also lead to a misrepresentation ban for 5 years, which is then going to be a huge nightmare otherwise. An immigration consultant, lawyers can obviously guide you, of course. Deal with somebody who really knows what they're doing. And of course, final tips on this one, be proactive. So if your application is delayed and you're not seeing any movement in your application for quite some time, you've called IRCC and you've called them and say, hey, what's happening with my application? They said, oh, your eligibility is under review, and you don't know what it is happening, right? Order ATIP notes, order the GCMS notes to understand what exactly is going on in your application. Be proactive. If there is something which an officer is showing as concern in the ATIP notes or what you have called the IRCC and you found out, Be proactive, provide those documents upfront itself, saying, okay, hey, you know what, I got the ATIP notes. I see you have a concern with this one. I'm providing you with these documents to allay your concern. Do let me know if you need anything else, and I'll be happy to provide that for you. Of course, stick to the facts. Giving emotional sob stories is not going to work. They are not interested. They deal with these situations on a daily basis. They are trained officers. They know how to keep the fluff away. Your emotional appeals, I mean, as much as they might not be fluff, will not help. Stick to the facts, keep it very, very objective, and hopefully you will get out of that situation pretty quickly. That's basically how you will handle a PFL, and that's the way to do it.